Welcome to the latest episode of the London Perspective, where we discuss the latest developments in the tech world. Today, we're going to be talking about ChatGPT, the new AI technology that has taken the tech world by storm. ChatGPT is not even 2 months old, but it has already sent shockwaves throughout the tech world. It has over 1 million users in just 1 week and is said to completely change how we use technology. The creators of ChatGPT, OpenAI, are currently on top of the world right now. But behind all this, another company you know very well has been waiting for this moment for years. This is the real winners of the battle for AI and the billions of dollars that are at stake. Microsoft has been pulling the strings behind the scenes for years now, and they're about to announce a genius $10 billion deal with OpenAI that might end up being the tech deal of the century. If they succeed, they will live in the dust of companies like Google, the guys that basically invented the tech behind artificial intelligence. And speaking of Google, this is the very first time that anyone has a real chance of dethroning them as the kings of search. There are 3 main reasons why Microsoft is going from a boring company making spreadsheet software to running the world-changing AI that will come in next years. ChatGPT is just a small piece of this puzzle. In 2019, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella decided to invest $1 billion in OpenAI, which at the time was just a small AI research laboratory. But things like ChatGPT, or AI-generated art, were still considered science fiction. No one could have predicted that in just 3 years we would reach the point where we are today. The genius part of the deal that Microsoft made with OpenAI in 2019 was that part of that $1 billion that Microsoft paid was in cloud credits. This is the key to everything. To understand how important this is, you have to understand that the biggest cost of operating and running an AI model is the insane amount of computing power it requires. And it's no surprise that this is the largest expense that any AI company has. And guess who's the second largest supplier of cloud computing in the world? That's right, Microsoft. Basically, Microsoft said, "Hey, I'm gonna give you all this money to take a piece of your cool company, but I also know that your biggest expense will be computing power, and guess who's gonna provide you that? Also me." So, basically, Microsoft was giving money to OpenAI to pay back Microsoft. This investment basically sets Microsoft on an exclusive partnership with OpenAI, and them being closer and closer of the years. If you think this was an op move, just wait until you hear what they are planning now. Just a few days ago it was announced that Microsoft and OpenAI are reportedly working on a $10 billion deal. If this goes through, it can very well be the single most genius tech deal in the history of tech. Because Microsoft is reportedly giving OpenAI $10 billion to get to own 49% of the whole company, and not only that, OpenAI will need to give Microsoft back 7.25% of their profits until they pay back the $10 billion. But then again, where is OpenAI gonna spend all this money? Well, for the most part, you guessed it, on Microsoft computing power. This is already a killer deal for Microsoft and can already crown Satya Nadella as a genius. But it doesn't stop there, as Microsoft and OpenAI are reportedly working on a $10 billion deal that could make Microsoft the majority stakeholder of OpenAI. This is a huge development in the tech industry and has the potential to change the game for both companies. Not only will OpenAI have access to Microsoft's vast resources and computing power, but Microsoft will also have a major stake in the cutting-edge AI technology developed by OpenAI. It's clear that the partnership between Microsoft and OpenAI is one to watch in the coming years. With ChatGPT, AI-generated art, and other groundbreaking technologies on the horizon, it's exciting to see what the future holds for these companies. And with the potential for a $10 billion deal, it's clear that the stakes are high. So, that's it for today's episode of the London Perspective. We'll be sure to keep you updated on the latest developments in the tech world, including the partnership between Microsoft and OpenAI. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.